President Donald Trump has reversed decades of U.S. policy and recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel in defiance of warnings the gesture risks creating further unrest in the Middle East. In a speech at the White House, Mr. Trump said his administration would begin a process of moving the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, which is expected to take years. The status of Jerusalem, home to sites holy to the Muslim, Jewish and Christian religions, is one of the thorniest obstacles to reaching a peace deal between Israel and the Palestinians. I have determined that it is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, Mr. Trump said. While previous presidents have made this a major campaign promise, they failed to deliver. Today, I am delivering. Israel considers the city its eternal and indivisible capital and wants all embassies based there. Palestinians want the capital of an independent Palestinian state to be in the city's eastern sector, which Israel captured in a 1967 war and annexed in a move never recognized internationally. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hailed Mr. Trump's announcement as a historic landmark and urged other countries also to move their embassies in Israel to Jerusalem. He said any peace deal with Palestinians must include Jerusalem as Israel's capital. This would be a non-starter for Palestinians if it means the entire city would be under Israeli control. Criticism of Mr. Trump's move poured in from Cairo to Tehran to Ankara to war-ravaged Syria, reflecting the anxiety over the announcement, which upends decades of U.S. policy and could ignite violent protests. Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas said Mr. Trump has destroyed America's credibility as a Mideast peace broker, adding in a televised statement that the decision is a declaration of withdrawal from the role it has played in the peace process. Egypt, which was the first Arab nation to sign a peace treaty with Israel in 1979, denounced Trump's decision, describing it in a foreign ministry statement as a violation of international resolutions on the city's status. The statement said Egypt is worried about the impact of the U.S. move on the stability of the region and about its extremely negative impact on the Israeli-Palestinian peace process. Jordan's King Abdullah II, whose country like Egypt has a peace treaty with Israel, said he had expressed his concerns to Mr. Trump in a phone call Tuesday, saying that ignoring Palestinian, Muslim and Christian rights in Jerusalem would only fuel further extremism. He spoke at a meeting with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who has invited leaders of member states of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to an extraordinary meeting to discuss Jerusalem's status next week. In Gaza, hundreds of Palestinian protesters burned American and Israeli flags and waved Palestinian flags and banners proclaiming Jerusalem as our eternal capital and calling recognition of it as Israel's capital a red line. Hamas, the militant group that controls Gaza, called for more protests over the coming days. Hamas official Salah Badawi said the Palestinians were on a dangerous crossroad today: we either remain or perish.